Hi everyone. So I had a reading here that I wanted to share. So I was just shuffling, wasn't sure what to read on, and then this card flew out, this Strength card, and I felt like this just like felt to me like us, like the American people. Just if you look at the expression on her face, she's strong, but she's just, I mean, for me, what I felt was a sort of pained strength. It's just a painful time. Like the strength that we have to have during this time is so hard and so painful. And then, so I was like, okay, this is us. This is America, covered by the Seven of Wands. We're just fighting to stand our ground. We're fighting for our country, really, is what we're doing. So many things coming at us, so many lies, so many injustices, so much corruption, and we just keep saying that, it's all wrong, and we're just sort of trying to stand our ground and hold on to our country. So it's like, it just, the second card fully like helped illustrate the feeling of the first card that I initially got, which was just like, it's exhausting. We're just exhausted having to be so strong and to keep trying to fight for our country. At the surface, with this world card, I feel like we literally have the world on our shoulders. The weight of the world on our shoulders is what I got when I saw this. It's like, yep, that's what it feels like. It's just like unbelievable every day. And the stakes and the magnitude of what we're trying to fight for and what we're trying to save is so huge. And of course the world is watching as well, and it's really coming down, it's going to come down to the American people fighting for our country and getting it back. And then at the base I see this Ace of Swords. This tells me that what we don't realize is how much we're learning. And I do feel like it's the sort of thing like once the dust clears and we have a little bit of time, that we'll be able to see everything that we've learned. It's just when we're in it, it's just more chaotic. It's hard to put our finger on it or put words into it. But this is what what we have right now. Beneath the surface is knowledge that's growing within us, and strength in that knowledge and that understanding. So, there's a purpose in all of it that we just can't quite see yet that's valuable. I mean, you see this Ten of Pentacles is leaving the situation. I see this, it's like, these like world leaders, or whether it's world leaders or leaders in our own country, and just the money, juggling all the money. I feel this as, I do feel it as as that sort of world, corruption of certain world leaders and the money that they, I don't know, manipulate, share, just the growing of the wealthy for the wealthy, for the wealthy, for the wealthy. And I see these as world leaders, I do. And that is in the leaving position, so that's great. That's what we're dealing with also. I mean, it connects to all the cards. It's what we're like starting to understand, the magnitude and how vast it is, how many, players we're dealing with. We still can't even, I can't fully wrap my head around it, but, we're learning what we're up against. And then, I see this coming in, a simpler time. And this just feels clean to me. I mean, if you compare these two cards, it's like the messiness of all of this. Power, greed, corruption. And then like what's coming in is just a simpler, a new, fresh start that I do think is coming. And a starting over. I mean, the page, just the starting over, the newness. This Five of Swords with this High Priestess here, what we're dealing with is, it's just more indicating the corruption, the stealing. I mean, the stealing, I could have a lot of meanings. The stealing of the election, the attempts to steal other elections, but also when I was looking at it, it's like the stealing of truth, the attempt to try to actually control truth, which is one of the most disturbing things of all for me, is just this, like the trying to manipulate the truth so much and so blatantly and so boldly. It's frightening. And like that, there's just like a greedy little pleased smile there. It's frightening what we see right now, what they're trying to get away with just lying, creating these weird deep state conspiracy theories, and like just trying to turn everything upside down and trying to walk away. What did Bill Barr said recently? Like, the winners will write history. Like, that's how they see it, and that's what they think they're going to get away with. This is like, yeah, that's what that character's face, that woman's face, just showed me. Like, winning history, winning the truth, winning, and that I see this high priestess here looking at us saying, like, there's a reason for this. You can't really know or understand the reason right now, but it all needs to happen like this. So, like, as bad as this is, this high priestess sort of said, there's a reason for this. It's a higher reason and a higher purpose. And I do think that has to do with people who, even though a lot of us might have felt and had a sense about all of this greed and corruption from the start, other people need to wake up to it. So, like, it needs to happen as bad as it's happening for some reason. That's a bit mysterious. Every day I just can't even believe we're still in this reality. It's so insane. With Donald Trump up there abusing, lying, abusing the press. It's insanity. Hopes and fears, it just feels like so much. There's so much that the burden right now is so heavy of how much. It's almost like, who's going to keep track of everything that we're eventually going to have to, like, try in courts or, like, investigate and try. But it is the burden is being handled, and we'll get through it. Now, this, of course, it's not a great card, that Nine of Swords as the final outcome, but unfortunately, I do think, and this might not be us, I feel like a lot of people don't get it yet, and this is going to be them, or a lot of people who are just starting to get it, or starting to see, like, the level of manipulation, the level of lies, the level of, like, how horrifying this is. Like, now we've got Trump. I mean, he can't keep his lies straight. It's absurd. Testing is stupid, but we have the best testing in the world, and it it very easily provable lies, that any normal person can just find out for themselves. And then when you start to realize, if you've been sort of looking the other way, or just saying, oh, all presidents are a little bit, everybody's kind of spinning things, and then, like, people waking up to realize, like, the truth is actually, like, really, really, really bad and really scary. So I think that's some people. And, I always learned this position to be, can be as long as from now to 6 months. Like, I just think more and more people will be waking up and realizing what a bad thing. And hopefully it will be, because more things get uncovered. I hope this doesn't just mean continued anxiety. And also, to just make you feel better about that card and that position, this was at the base at that time then. This beautiful Judgment card. And this is where I also feel, because they're playing these trumpets, and it's just like I think of the trumpets as being loud. Like, it's like people need to wake up. This card just made me think, wake up, wake up, wake up. Hear these trumpets, and that's, sometimes these things have to go together. You have to wake up to how bad things are before you can start to stand up and fight for what's right, and see. So you have to see what's wrong to fight for what's right, and some people just haven't seen it yet. But I just feel like there's so many of us, like, that are rising, so that's great. I did ask for a couple clarifiers on this. You know, can I get anything other than just anxiety, waking up in the middle of the night screaming? And I got a Knight of Pentacles and a Queen of Wands. Now, I see this as Elizabeth Warren. This is my Elizabeth Warren card. And I did like ask, does that mean she's somehow president? I gotta know, but I think that what I got was like the next Mitch McConnell position, which we have learned is really, I mean, in a way, the most powerful position. And for her to be in that position, I mean, that's just what I picked up in my read and you know, in my cards, my guidance just sort of seemed to say, yes, this is Elizabeth Warren, and it's not that she's president, but I think she'll be like, if we take the Senate, if Democrats are able to take the Senate and she leads the Senate, then what I see is that we'll have a new beginning. And at the base, I got this card, and that just seemed to align very much with an Elizabeth Warren kind of making, like, she is such a, sorry, it's getting dark in here, genius when it comes to how the money, in my opinion, how the money, the wealth in our country could be allocated differently. And so I see, you know, with these cards, that could be, you know, what's coming after this is a different system, a different like way of our country to run financially, a new way, and that gives back to the people. So that's great. I think ultimately that read really made me feel better and see where we can go, even as, you know, heavy as these burdens are right now. I do see a happy new start for us in the end. So I just wanted to share that. Thanks for being there to watch for me to share it with. And oh, let me know if you had any thoughts in the comments, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.